seconds and counting.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another Question Game Entertainment video. Today we're going to be talking about the Houston Rockets and kind of just a season preview towards what to expect from this team and just kind of what we saw from preseason, what's going to carry over for this Rockets team. Just to kind of start out on preseason, the Rockets finished 4-1 in preseason. They just now beat the Miami Heat 110-104. Just kind of going through the box score, another really nice day for Amen Thompson. I mean, 19, 8, and 4 in 25 minutes is like really good, especially, in only 25 minutes and in preseason. It's super impressive. Another good game for Fred VanVleet. So he had 26 and 3, which is, another good performance. He shot the ball pretty well. Jabari had 7, 9, and 2, one of his weaker games in the preseason, but he's overall had a really good preseason. And Jalen Green was back today. He had 20 and 4. He had a couple threes, made all his free throws. Just a good day overall for him as well. This Rockets team is really interesting. There's definitely holes, and they're not a contender obviously this year, but they should be competitive in the Western Conference for like a play-in spot with the talent that they have. I mean, I didn't even mention Dillon Brooks. Dillon Brooks is one of the more underrated players in the league, I think. I mean, he is just an elite defender, and he just locks up on the perimeter. You obviously have Alperen Şengün on the offensive side of the ball. He can basically do whatever he wants around the basket, and that's so huge. You can run your offense through him in certain situations if you want to. And you have a lot of good guard play and wings now. That's what's so crucial that the Rockets have been missing. Having the ability to, when you take one of Fred VanVleet or Jalen Green out of the game, you can put Amen Thompson in, and that'll be your backcourt. You can always keep one of them in the game with Amen, and that's just massive to have. I mean, the ability to have Amen play aside all these guys and be able to have like Fred VanVleet slide over and play more off ball is a ability that the Rockets have been missing, and just kind of goes to show. I mean, Coach Ime Udoka is changing a lot about this Rockets team, and that's super exciting to see. The Rockets have been able to just completely change the identity of this team and just make people view them differently as an organization. I think this Rockets team is going to be built on their defense. Mainly, their offense is mainly going to be kind of just, ball movement and getting out in transition, I think. I think it's going to be built on the defensive side of the ball with guys like, Fred VanVleet, Dillon Brooks, Jabari all being plus defenders. And Amen Thompson off the bench. You got guys like Jae'Sean Tate who can defend, Reggie Bullock, Tari Eason when he's healthy. There's just a ton of guys that can play and can defend while also being able to run the floor and do different things on the offensive side of the ball. But I think you got to have complete trust in Coach Ime Udoka and what he's trying to do here. In his first year as a head coach, he went to the NBA Finals, and he's just a really impressive coach. So I just trust what he's going to do with this team. I think he's going to do the right thing and get the right fits for all these Rockets. And I think he's gonna make sure we get a competitive team this season, which is kind of what we've been missing. Just going through some other preseason games. Cam Whitmore has been interesting. He's had some really good moments. He's had some really bad moments. It doesn't seem like Cam Whitmore is going to crack the rotation at first, but I would assume that at some point he is going to crack the rotation and he's going to earn some playing time. That are going to play some real minutes for this Rockets team are guys like Reggie Bullock, who, if they need some shooting, can come in and he'll shoot the ball well. He'll defend a little bit. Some other guys like Aaron Holiday, Jeff Green, may be able to crack the rotation off, shooting and defending, which is what Ime Udoka praises. And other guys like, maybe Jatheen Williams, who had a really good, I forgot what they other name is. He has kind of a nickname that they call him, but Jatheen Williams, awesome preseason, and he can shoot the ball. He's athletic. He's gonna probably make this roster, or at least as a two-way. And I think he will, maybe he's a G leaguer, but he will be able to stick around. He's a younger guy, and he'll stick around. And we'll see what happens with that. But just kind of maybe we'll get into some predictions here about like leading scorers and over that. So the Rockets' leading scorer to me this season, I still think it's Jalen Green. I think he's the best scorer on this team. And when he was out those 2 games against San Antonio. The impact of him not being there on offense was clearly missed. They didn't have a guy who they could give the ball to and let him go one-on-one and score if they had to, and that was desperately missed. I think Jalen takes another step in year 3. I think he is going to continue to develop and, take some smarter shots. He's going to get his efficiency up. He's going to get his points per game up. In this system with Coach Udoka, who, will provide the discipline and everything that's been missing with this Rockets team. So I think that's super key for his development. And I think we're going to see, the playmaking improve and just everything overall. I think Jalen Green is just going to be a much better player. Getting into kind of, the best defender on this Rockets team this season, I think it's got to be Dillon Brooks. Dillon Brooks is one of the best perimeter defenders in the NBA, and he's definitely the best perimeter defender on this Rockets team. He can, defend all these different type of guys. He can defend guards, forwards. He can basically guard 1 through 4, and you don't have to ask too much of him on offense, but he can space the floor a little bit and just can defend one-on-one on the perimeter, which is so massive to have. Not many teams have a guy like that. And so the Rockets being able to add him in free agency was so massive. And, maybe let's get into the Rockets breakout player this year. I think it's going to be Jabari Smith Jr. I think Jabari is going to have a big year this year. He struggled a little bit last year, but in this new system with Coach Ime Udoka and the ability to, shoot the ball better as we saw down the stretch of last season for Jabari, I think that's going to be crucial to his development and what he's going to continue to be in the NBA. He can defend all different types of players and he can shoot the ball, and that's always really valuable in the NBA at any point. I think that's going to show very soon here with the Rockets, and it showed in preseason. He played pretty well, and it's going to carry over to the season, I believe. Just kind of last recaps for the season. I get people get upset about rotations, but I just trust the plan Coach Ime Udoka has. I think Udoka has a plan, and he's going to execute it. It's not always going to look perfect, but he knows what he is doing, and we've seen it before, and I think you just got to trust the process with that. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. Hopefully y'all enjoy this Rockets content. I'll continue to just go ahead and pump it out. If y'all do, make sure y'all like, subscribe, comment, and maybe drop y'all's win predictions for the Rockets in the comments. How many games they'll win, what seed, and everything like that. Kind of get a view of how people look at this Rockets team. And